Good afternoon. Welcome to the TheoTrade afternoon video. I'm Blake Young. Today is November 6, 2025, and we're going to talk about the sell-off in the market today that's pushing back to multi-week lows, but we're also going to talk about the idea of upstream and downstream business. Now, I'm not talking about upstream and downstream from crude or energy, but for example, today we're going to talk about downstream from airlines and maybe a trade that is setting up that we don't see setting up quite yet. To start with, let's talk about the SPX. SPX selling off today. As you can see, we're creating lower highs, lower lows through here, and we're at a multi-week low. There's some support areas. We could see a bounce at 66.96 and maybe a little lower. In fact, we just tagged the notorious 6711. 6711 is 11s are a pretty good barrier for the S&P 500. But this could be the sell-off. We could see a bounce. Or it could break down and we could be looking for another move down into this area, which would be about 65.50, 65.60. So we might have another 150 or more point drop. That's a significant drop. We're talking about 2% over the next week. But I'm looking at this and saying, what are the causes? What are the things that are feeding into this? What might we expect in this sell-off? And I'm going to focus on the FAA's guidance that they're going to cut or cancel 10% of the flights out of the metropolitan areas starting Friday. Now, the point I want to make is that it's starting Friday. We're already pricing in much of the moves into Delta, United, and American because they're going to see a drop in revenues. So if we were to look at this and say, let's go take a look at those major airlines, we know they're going to see a decline in revenues. So we price that in, we bounce back up, we're trying to price that in. We're sitting at support. That's fine. Totally fine that we can start with that, and we can look for moves in the group for the next leg down. How long will those cuts be in place? And the question I have is not whether the cuts will be in place and then people will travel after, because the fact is, if the cuts happen, if we see the cancellations happen, they also eliminate their costs immediately. They just don't, the planes don't take off. It just means reduction of revenue, the planes don't take off. So as we're looking at these moves and we're looking for the moves lower, we could try to play the airlines. I think that's a reasonable approach to take if you think this is going to be long-term and the cancellations are going to continue going forward. Obviously, these setups are at support and they could move lower. Jets is a substitute as an ETF, and we could be looking at 22. You know, we're talking 10% drop in flights, but we're also maybe a 10% drop in jets. And there's a good opportunity in there. But my question became, who will this impact the most? And my first thought was leisure. Because the fact is, if we don't have the flights, businesses are still going to travel. They're going to delay the travel. They're going to move to other time frames. But all the leisure, all the hotels, they're sitting there with vacancies. The buildings don't go away. The staff don't go away when they don't have guests come in. Their expenses stay higher. If they cancel flights, there's no pilots on and they're paid per trip. There's the flight attendant, same kind of thing. The maintenance doesn't need to be done. So the airlines, their costs drop dramatically. The hotels don't drop as much. They still have to have the staff. They still have to have the buildings. They still have to have the electricity. They still have everything pretty much still there. So I wanted to start looking for hotels. I wanted to start looking for leisure. So I ran a quick scan. And in that scan, you'll see this is just looking for penny increment stocks, meaning stocks that have options that are really fairly priced, and in the hotel, restaurant, and leisure area. Now, I've been bearish dash. I like that dash short. This is part of that bearish earnings flip, so we're down at those low levels. If we get a little recovery, that's going to work out well, but DoorDash wouldn't be the one I'd be looking at. DraftKings is not the one I've looked at, but I have talked about both of those bearish. I still like those bearish. I'm just saying it doesn't tie to what I'm talking about today. What does tie to what I'm talking about is all of these. Wynn, Carnival Cruises. If you can't get to the cruise line, then you're going to be canceling that as well. And then people with travel insurance are going to cancel that. Travel insurance companies could be a good short there too. MGM, Las Vegas, Royal Caribbean, Expedia. People are not going to be booking their travel. Airbnb, not going to be booking their travel. So we'll ignore McDonald's, Starbucks, and Chipotle and focus on hotels and casinos. Now, Wynn does have earnings tonight. So This is one that I would absolutely consider selling the highs, selling call verticals, but we do have earnings. They might have had a really good quarter. Expectation is 108.60. It's somewhere right in the realm of the last 2 quarters, but they may have been doing fine. I don't think so. I do think we're going to see a consolidation of travel spending, and we probably already saw that happening. But add to that, the next quarter is going to be worse, or that we're going to see slowdowns because people aren't going to be able to get to their destination. These all line up pretty well for the next leg down. Just be careful with Wynn and those that have earnings coming up, such as Expedia, Wynn, and Airbnb. But I still like the stock short. I still think this is a good opportunity. I think we could sell calls into here. You might get paid handsomely for selling call verticals up here because it is going to earnings, but it might be worth waiting until after earnings. So if we look at something like MGM, on MGM, what are we looking for? We're already in a downtrend. We're already past the earnings. We already reacted to the earnings. But if we're going to have less travel, are we going to drop down and go for 26? If we look at the options on MGM, the options implied volatility percentile for the year is at 26%. That means I'd be looking for buying puts or buying long put verticals. I'd be looking for taking a very low cost approach because the options are priced low. And this might take a month or 2 to get here, but if we see cancellations and we know the economy is tightening, and reports that we're getting from other groups like the Challenger report are showing that we have 153,000 job losses in October. We have the lowest number of hiring in nearly 20 years. So this is a significant report. Since we can't get the government report, this will feed into companies like MGM. We're already in a downtrend. So MGM Resorts, I do think we're heading back down to 26, if not lower. So to set the trades up, what we'd look for is we'd look for the options to trade for that time period. And knowing the options are relatively inexpensive because the percentile is 26%, I want to buy out a month or 2 to be able to take advantage of that move. You can see the implied volatility is lowest in January. So we could go out to January, we could buy a put in the money at a 35, we'd buy a delta near 68, and all we're paying for time decay is 77 cents to buy all the way out to January. So 3 months worth, and we're getting 70 cents of time decay. So I want to collect 77 cents of time decay in 3 weeks time period, sell the Novembers, and try to do that multiple months. So if I can sell and collect 77 cents, I would do that, but we're not getting paid enough. So we're going to sell the delta of 35 and collect the 81 cents. That's going to put us into a positive theta situation. Now the spread is $4 and it's going to cost $3, but theoretically I will be able to sell December and January for somewhere between 75 and 90 cents. So if I can get another 80 cents, I'm going to collect 80 cents and 80 cents for November into December, December into January. I'll collect another $1.60, and my cost price is going to drop down to $1.40, and I'll have a $4 or wider vertical by January. So $1.40 for $4 wide, I will end up with a 2-to-1 reward risk ratio or better, and I'm in a positive time decay. So it doesn't have to go down for me to make this money. It has to stay flat or go down. And if it goes down, I just make more while we move lower and lower. So MGM looks pretty promising for a long-term trade that could turn into 2-to-1 over the next 2 months. Now, Las Vegas Sands has been in a rip-your-face-off type rally after earnings. Just higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, all the way through here. In fact, today, even during the chaos, we see money rushing into Las Vegas Sands. Even with the sell-off that we're seeing in the broad market today, even with the S&P 500 falling down, Las Vegas Sands is ripping higher. That doesn't mean I want to go long. I still want to look for an opportunity to short. This feels, looks, and prices highly overextended after those earnings. And they really didn't do that much better than what we'd expect. They're at 79 cents previous quarter. They're at 78 cents this quarter. Now, that is higher than analyst expectations, but it was right in line with the previous. And that's the story. Analysts had bad ratings, bad expectations, but they came in exactly the way they did the previous month. Better than analyst expectations at 79. Better than analyst expectations at 78. So we've priced it all in. I don't see that this is going to continue to move higher. So then the question is, can I create a trade that pays me enough or that costs me little enough to take the trade back down? Let's look at Las Vegas Sands and determine whether the options are cheap or expensive. I always like to look at that percentage of implied volatility. And on these, it's 19%, or better said, 19th percentile. So that means we're in the bottom 1/5 of price in these options. Probably not going to sell verticals and hope it goes lower because they're probably not going to pay us enough. So instead, we're going to do the same thing. What if we found the top now? What if today is the day? What's the risk? What's the reward? What's the probability? I can buy the 70 delta, which in this case happens to be the 70 strike, for somewhere between 785 and 930. If we can get the mid price, we could probably get as low as 860. Now the time decay of that is $1.64. Just like before, what we're looking at, we're on MGM. Can I get paid that time decay? Well, a delta of 39, I like to sell deltas between 30 and 40. A delta of 39 is going to pay me $1.40. So this almost pays for it. But if I get another $1.40 for December or more, because I'm not even doing a month here, we could get $1.50 and $1.50. We could lose $3 in this price here and drop it down to about $4. If I end up paying $4 for a $8 spread, I'll be about 2 to 1. Now this is not pricing nearly as well because we're still in a rally. We're not pricing in a rollover. This is not as strong of a situation, but I do think the opportunity is going to be fairly large. And by buying in the money, we're selling the 62. We're only looking to roll it out at the 63. And if we do this in December, we should be able to get closer to what the December month to month is, and we'd be going about $1.80. So we could collect another $3.60, not just $3 in December and January, selling that month to month level. So I still like the trade. If we drop this down $3.60, we're going to be talking about $3.50 for an $8 wide spread. Let's look at Airbnb, even though they have earnings. Let's look at Airbnb. And we'll note the fact that it is rolled over, hits across the 20-day moving average. Yes, we do have earnings, so we do need to be careful around today. But the pressure is absolutely to the downside. People are not likely to spend as much money as they have in the past, and yet analysts have it at 229. What's the probability that they made 2.5 times their revenue than they did last quarter? If we go back a year, yeah, there's going to be more, about 213, but are we actually making more this year than we were last year? And the trend is down. So I like this trade short, but what's nice is we have a lot of implied volatility because of earnings. But even without the earnings, the year we have a lot of implied volatility. So if we look at the implied volatility percentile, scrolling all the way down here, we're at 44%. So we're near that 50% level where I'm always selling, but I will look at both sides if we're between 35 and 50. So looking at the options here, again, be careful because it is earnings. But if we go in here and say, I'm not going to sell the earnings, I'm going to go out where I think it's not pricing in much, which is about 3 weeks. So we're going from 177 to 51%. If I sold 3 weeks worth, I just don't see that they're going to have a shock and awe performance for this quarter. It is risky, but I would sell a delta between 30 and 40. And I would be looking to collect that premium because we're in the 44 percentile. And they're willing to pay me 62 cents credit. I just don't know if we're going to get that filled. It's an earnings day. If you can get 50 cents on a dollar wide with a delta of 33 or 37, this is a really good probability trade based off the premiums. If we're selling all the way up to 127, the stock would have to jump $7, almost all of the expected move of today, straight up, and has a delta of 38. And if we can get 50 cents on it, this would be a pretty decent reward risk. You would need to be right 50% of the time, and it statistically says you're going to be right 62% of the time. You have a statistical edge in your favor. Again, it's an earnings day, so it's going to be a little bit tricky. I like it. I like the short, but it is earnings day, so you have to be very careful here. So the last one we're going to look at is either of the cruise lines, CCL or RCL. RCL's already sold off a lot more than CCL, so Royal Caribbean's already down quite a bit. So let's focus on Carnival as one that has higher opportunity. It already created what I'd consider a significant head and shoulders pattern that would be looking for a drop of about $4, and it still leaves me a target down to about 24 off this price pattern. We're already past earnings. Earnings have happened. We already saw a reaction to that big swing, volatility swing, and as you can see, let me just show you the numbers. We had an earnings expectation of 131. They beat expectations and sold off. What's the probability it's not going to, or that it's going to do better, where we had one of the worst hurricanes in recent history in the Caribbean? We've already broke down, we've already gapped down, and we know that leisure spending is going to reduce over the next quarter. So this move lower, we could be looking at 24. I would not be surprised to see Carnival fall all the way down to 18. We go to the options and say, what are the options looking like on Carnival? Are they cheap or expensive? They're cheap. That means we want to do a long put vertical or a long put diagonal. So we'll do the same thing before. We're going to go out to January or March in this case, because it could take a little while. Let's go to March where we have lower implied volatility. Let's do the same thing, and we're going to sell premium enough to pay for our time decay. The 31 is a 70 delta. We pay 575 and pay 96 cents of time decay. If we sell a month worth, so we're going to go December, January, February, March. We're going to collect 4 of these. If we sell a month worth near the 40 to 50 delta, or sorry, 30 to 40 delta, that's this one. Well, we got all of it, all in one shot. So we're going to get 97 cents 3 more times. We're going to drop this about $3 more. Our total cost is going to be $1.50 if it doesn't move. And we're going to pay $1.50 for a $5 wide spread. And we have all the way to March to hit our target. And every month we collect more premium. Every month we reduce our cost. Every month we collect more time decay. So I like all of these, any of the leisures. I like the idea of taking bearish positions because I do think there's more downstream that's coming towards us in this economy, in the layoffs, in the travel slowdowns, and cancellation of flights, and there's a lot more to come. We will see more response down the road for travel in these areas that are leisure, hotels, and gambling. That's going to do it for me today. Thank you for watching. Join me again next week, and we'll look for more opportunities in this crazy market we have. Have a fantastic night.